Hi everyone, Jay from Neat here. We're going to take you through the more advanced setup stage of how we can get Neat Focus working with one or multiple Neat centers on the latest firmware. So basic here, we've got a Neat Board Pro. In this instance as well, I've taken the HDMI out and I've put it into a second display. So it's actually a 2-screen Zoom room in this case. Could be Teams, could be Google. I've also up here got a Neat center suspended from the ceiling as well. So what we're going to do is have this set up in the dual screen setup for conferencing, and we're going to set this up to be a Neat Focus camera, and I'll take you through how to do that. So if you guys come over here, we're going to basically take you through some of the settings here. So I'm going to go into my board here and I'm going to put in my passcode. And what we're going to do first is set up the camera. So we're going to go to audio and video and to our camera selection tool. Now what we've got is normally you'd have cut automatic set, and that means you would be using all of the cameras here and all of the cameras in the Neat center to frame everybody. But what we're going to do first is set up a custom environment, and it's going to give me a bit of a warning saying you're entering the world of more complicated setup. And what we're going to do is have the Neat Board Pro cameras on, and we're going to use normal composition. So what that means is it's going to have its normal frame of camera settings there. And then we're also going to have the Neat center on, but we're only going to use the selected camera that we want, which in this case is, I think we're going to use camera C, but let's check first. So if I press camera A, that's actually facing towards the back, that's facing towards James, he's holding the camera there for me. We've got camera B, which is facing now towards me. I actually know that's the case as well, which camera it is, because also on the Neat center, if you just point the camera up a little bit, you can see the little light comes up underneath the lens. Right, back on the screen, so we know it's probably going to be camera C. There it is, just as it wakes up from the stream, you can see that's going off to the right place. But we want to fine tune that as well. This is a very wide area and we don't want everyone that appears in here to be framed as a presenter. So let's look at our framing boundary. So we're going to go into framing boundary. Now for the Board Pro, we know we want to have it fairly open, we want to frame everybody. I'm actually going to reduce the depth a little bit so it's not framing anybody that's kind of walking past. We can change our width as well. We can see there it's actually picking up James, who's holding the camera a little bit further back on the screen there. But what we're going to do is look at the center now. And with the center, we're going to set up the framing boundary. You can see here, we've got our normal depth tools, so we want to not let the center frame people if they're too close to the center, or obviously if they're too far away. The most important thing here is the field of view. Can you see there, as I expand it, we're actually widening the field of view, so anybody outside this area won't be framed. And we're actually going to define our sort of presentation area. Here we go. So anyone that's in front of the screen, in front of this sort of brick area, widen up a little bit more, is going to get framed as a presenter. Now, how this works, we can actually test from within this menu, and when we go back to our camera selection tool, we don't need to start a call every time. What we've got here is we'll select the camera C, we've got our defined area, and we also have an additional frame, which is adaptive. So I'll take you through these different options first. Full frame mixing means from that one camera, if somebody walks into that area, obviously it's not going to pick up everyone else, they're going to go into that main frame. Okay, so how that works, let's go in, we'll test how it works. Firstly, it's going to actually pick up James, I think, in a moment. But we've got the room overview shot, there we go. And then if I go over here to the presentation spot, thank you very much, you will see that in a short period of time, once it's kind of worked out where I am, who I am, and you know that I'm a person, that I'll get picked up as an adaptive frame and put into the main frame. So you can see there now, I'm there next to James, side by side, and that's one frame that will go into Teams or Zoom or something like that. But we want to actually have a bit more focus on the presenter than the audience, so that's why we have some more choices here. If I go to main frame, so that was mixing on the main frame. We've also got additional frame or a static and additional frame adaptive. Now, with static, it means if we start up another call here, you will see that we'll get 2 shots the whole time. We will get the shot of James or the audience, if I lock it off to the wider shot there on the main frame, and we'll also get the static shot until somebody walks into that area as well. But what we're actually going to do is use what most people set up as the for neat focus is the adaptive additional frame, and this is the easiest one to explain. If I test how that works, you'll see the nice cropped in shots of the audience, or in this case a wide shot of the audience. What we want to do is set up a shot when somebody else stands into the lectern area. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to stand here, and what's going to happen is it's going to detect after a few seconds or so that I'm a presenter, and you'll see it'll assign me, you can probably see on the screen here, an additional sort of frame. So I've got lots more real estate on the screen alongside the audience. If I actually walk out of shot, you'll see that it will stay on that full frame overview as well. And this makes no difference. So we could be doing individual framing. Okay, so again, we've got James there. And then if I come into here, you will actually see that, and that could be multiple people being framed. And what you'll see is as I come into this area, it will pick me up, and it does this two shots. So it does all the people in the audience, and it will do me as an individual user. If you're using this and the board can see me, it'll even determine that I'm that same person. You're not doing the duplicating of people, and that will stop that as well. So we've got one more thing to show you as well. So I've set up there Board Pro. I've set up a neat center with one frame. What I'm going to do now is go into our menu, and I'm actually going to add one more neat center. You can actually do this for 3. So if I go to add neat center, we're going to pair that neat center. And what I'll do is I'll get James to just quickly show you. I've actually thrown a neat center over there. There we go, just on a pole. Thank you very much. So I'm going to press on here, next. And again, what we're going to do is exactly the same. I'm going to say audio and video. I'm going to go to my camera selection, and again for the second neat center, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to choose my camera. So James is going to stand over there. That's a great shot. Camera A, James right in shot. And again, what I'm going to do is say, set that up as an additional adaptive frame. So now, when we start up a brand new call, what we should have is our nice room shot on one side, and we've got James there as a presenter. Brilliant, because he's stood in front of that center. What happens if I stand up in this area, which is the other center camera? Okay, so hopefully what will happen is we'll get all 3 streams in display. We'll get a shot of James as a center camera, we've got me as another presenter, and we've got the room camera as well. So James, if you want to come and walk over here, so I know you've got the camera, hopefully you will go out of shot. I know we didn't define that boundary or anything, but you know, it's a nice wide shot, and hopefully what will happen is you will come out of there, your stream disappears, and now I've only got my nice wide shot and we've got me as presenter. You could actually have that set up with 4 individual streams as well, and that's how neat focus works. So you've got your primary front of room device, you've got a neat center, you've got, in this case, another neat center. You could have a third neat center, and you can set them up as individual users there. So that's the really quick process of how you set up a board or a bar using neat focus with multiple neat centers. Thanks very much.